Hello there, Epsilon Eridani here, and let's continue on the case. We are about, I don't know, this is the first recess of the trial, so maybe halfway or 1/3 through, and this is the first case. I mean, there's only one case, but anyway, it's gonna be a long one. Alright, hello Judge. December 27th, 1:21 p.m. at District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. Phew. Are you nervous? No, I'm fine. You look like you're gonna faint.
It's okay, Judge. We're doing fine. Besides, if Paul had any decisive evidence, I'm sure she would have presented it by now.
No, I don't know. That's not how drama works. You start slow and then you build up to a crescendo, right?
She's building up her case brick by brick, and we just need to knock it down brick by brick.
Yes, I agreed. Of course, we haven't done much of that knocking down part yet. But Jessica's proven that I had the opportunity and provided the evidence. By the way, Judge, what are you keeping with you? That's a book, right? But what does it contain? That Fisher's testimony will probably be decisive enough for a guilty verdict.
But we've met Fisher and know his personality.
Yeah, that's right. He's short-tempered, so maybe if we anger him enough, he'll slip it up. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to provoke a witness. Oh, wait. I know what you mean. It's like a few good man strategy, right? Where you had this person who is trying to conceal something, but then when you provoke him enough, he will accidentally get so angry that he slips up. Okay, Apollo, you better know your psychology, if that is true, but because I don't get that kind of vibe for Fisher, but unless he's passive aggressive, but let's see. That seems like as good a plan as any. More like the only plan, yeah. You need the B plan, Apollo.
Anyway, the recess is almost over. We'd better get back inside.
Pool is 2/3 of the way to a guilty verdict. The only thing standing between them is one testimony. Well, I've got to find out a way to break the testimony evidence and the motive all at once when I'm finished. I'm still waiting that Rhea miraculously finds out what the anagram is, and then everything will be flipped, right? Court is back in session for the trial of Judge Chambers. Is the prosecution ready to call its witness? The prosecution was ready before the recess. After all, the break was your idea. Oh right, I'm very sorry, Mrs. Poole. It's okay, Your Honor. She's a crafty one, she is. Anyway, the prosecution calls Sean Fisher to the stand. Name and occupation. Sean Fisher, I'm a guard at Clooney Prison's Asylum. I understand that you witnessed the murder. I sure did. Then, if you would please testify about it. Alright, let's see. My job was to make sure Erlenmeyer would remain quiet in his cell at 1 a.m. like Private Chambers. He said our boss had ordered him to check the cell and the mic left. Once we were in the cell, Chambers suddenly whipped out his gun and fired but missed. There was a struggle between Erlenmeyer and Chambers. Chambers shot Erlenmeyer in the forehead. Bang! He then knocked me unconscious with his gun. Bang! There are no bearing contradictions, but something about his testimony feels off.
Do you think he's lying about what he saw?
Yeah, I'm 95% sure. Unless Chambers is guilty, he has to be. You may begin the cross-examination, Mr. Justice. Let's see. My job was to make sure that Erlenmeyer would remain quiet in his cell. Why? Was guarding the victim and making sure he didn't do anything difficult. Heck no, he usually just stares at the ceiling the entire day. He rarely talks, and when he does, it's just nonsense in a boring, slow, monotonous voice. The hardest part is not falling asleep. I see. Besides, even if anything did happen, I always got my gun. So what happened that night? Do you think it was strange at the time? I thought there was some kind of urgent problem since we usually need only one guard in an area. Plus, it's Mike freaking Higgins' job to determine if people are authorized to enter or not. I just got himself, so I wasn't in a position to protest, you see? And is that why you let in someone who claimed to be your boss that you hadn't seen before? Yep, all cause of Mike freaking Higgins. Alright. How can someone miss at such close range? Well, maybe it was warning shot. There are a few reasons. The first is that Erlenmeyer has amazing reflexes, even if he don't look it. What, so you think he's Neo from Matrix? That he can move faster than a bullet? No, I don't think that's the case. He says what Chambers was gonna do and dodged. Second reason that Chambers fired his gun almost immediately, so he barely had any time to aim. And the last reason is that even if his guns aren't that big, there's still some recoil. It's probably threw off Chambers' aim even more, since he's never used a gun before. That's where the bullet hole in the wall came from. What happened next? Okay, there was a struggle. Can you tell the court exactly what happened? Well, Erlenmeyer tried to get Chambers' weapon, but the old man kicked him in the stomach before he could. Chambers pushed away Erlenmeyer to get some distance, and then... What about that bloody handprint we found in the cell? Erlenmeyer put his hand on the wall for support, you know, like he wanted to feel the sense of touch for the last time. He went down till he collapsed on the prison bed. That's just speculation, come on now. Then what happened? You did for what I already told you. Well, it's not a BAM, it's like... I don't know. I don't know my onomatopoeias so good, but I would say BAM would be like... similar to bang, like a gunshot, but obviously that's not what he means here. How did he do that? What kind of stupid question is that? He hit me over the head with it. I mean, what did he do in more detail? He ran up to me and hit me over the head with a gun. He can move fast for an old man. And for how long were you unconscious? Till I was discovered by another prison guard 2 hours later. That's enough stalling antennas. You thoroughly examined this testimony. Is there a contradiction or not? I have doubts, but I don't have an outright contradiction, I think. There is... something. Okay, this is what I gather. There's suspicion, like I said, but like you, I can't find it. There's no contradiction. And there you have it, you know, guilty. Motive, Arthur Chambers. Opportunity, Mr. Meekins, allowing him into the prison. And finally, decisive evidence, Mr. Fisher's testimony. I believe that is all that is necessary for a guilty verdict. Judge, please prepare the firing squad. You are correct. Mr. Justice, if you have any evidence to present or arguments to make, you should do so now. I believe that jury has seen enough to render a verdict, and I'm sure you know what that verdict will be. No, I mean, if I stop now, then yes, but we need more. How? Okay, can we ask a new witness? No, but we can ask more testimony, right? Because I still think it's vague. But if that's how it went, it's difficult to demand more testimony because he was hit on the head, but and there's not much what he can tell about the moment of the killing, so to speak. Your Honor, I have nothing. I'm sorry, Judge. Very well, we did something. Did you do it? Did you get it? What the anagram is, Rhea? The
defense? The defense requests a second cross-examination.
Ooh, thanks, Rhea, but what exactly? I agree, completely agree that we need new information to proceed with the trial so that we don't get a guilty verdict. But I cannot ask anything but after the things that happened when he was woken up 2 hours later, so we have to ask something that happened before. Right? But or we can ask further clarification about the moment of killing, but that happened so fast that I don't know what to ask. Yes, exactly. What? You found no contradictions the first time. What makes you think this time will be different?
We don't want to look for contradictions. We want to ask Mr. Fisher a question.
What? No, shut up, Apollo. Yes, we do. We need to ask a question, otherwise this trial is over in 30 seconds.
You can give up now, Apollo.
Thank you, Rhea. I like you.
Not when there are so many unanswered questions in Mr. Fisher's testimony. His testimony is flawless in that there are no contradictions, but there is still a gaping hole. He's detailing what happened like it was caught on tape.
Huh? Do you mean that he doesn't say anything about dialogue? There was probably a discussion, right, between the victim and the suspect, and he didn't mention what they said. Is this what you're trying to say here?
But there's a crucial difference between a person and a camera.
Huh? There's no voice.
Still not get it? Imagine instead of Fisher there were 2 guards on duty that night. Think about what the second guard's testimony would be like.
But wait a sec. What do you mean? Is he talking about something else? That's what I was trying to say. if there was 2 guards there, and what would security guards say? I'm not sure what you're getting at. That's enough chit-chat, Mr. Justice. Now do you have a question or not? As my assistant just said, I do. Why don't you tell me anything about the dialogue between the people during the moment of the crime? This question will expose a giant contradiction in the testimony.
Objection!
You have everything needed for a verdict, Your Honor. Why allow this to continue? Our job is to find the truth of what happened. I mean, there's no such thing as too much evidence or too much testimony, right? Come on, let's go. If the defense believes it can find the truth with one question, then I may as well let them try. But we've already found the truth. Well, that's... No, I disagree. There's something more there. The judge should recognize this also. I am only letting them ask one question. Do you think that will really take too much time, you idiot? I know you're like older person, but there's enough time for that. Come on. I suppose not. Anyway, you just heard me, Mr. Justice. I will let you cross-examine the witness, but you may ask one question and one question only. It's fine, because one question is all I need. Okay, let's save. Save button was what? F5. Yes. Okay. Okay, this is not contradiction. I mean, we are not. I don't have a contradiction, but let's see. Okay, I don't think I can ask anything from here. Okay, is this here? That why didn't he intervene? Is this the question? Maybe.
Come on, Apollo, think. What would the second testimony sound like? Figure out what's strange about this testimony and press on it.
Okay, I think it's this one. Why didn't he try to stop the struggle? Right?
Hold it!
Yes, I made it. I made it. It wasn't the audio thing, but it was the strange non-interventionism. And what exactly you were doing during the struggle? Playing Switzerland? I was... Got you now, Fisher. It's really fishy. Why didn't you do anything to stop the struggle? Hmm? I don't know. What was I supposed to do? What the fuck you mean? You are the guard, right? Wait, you are the guard, right? Right? Yes, you are actually a prison guard. That's your literal job. If you find a struggle between an inmate and I don't know, visitor. I mean, well, duh. You alert for backup or stop them yourself. Are you actually a prison guard? Are you just faking it? You are a fucking prison guard. It was your job to make sure nothing like this happened. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Apollo. Well, how was I supposed to stop the goddamn struggle? But you're not armed? Do you have a pepper spray? Baton? I don't know. Oh, yeah, a gun. You had a gun, didn't you? I was too shocked to do anything. I was glued to the spot. I would also be scared if two people broke into a fight like that in front of me. Yeah, but you are... like I said, you are prison guard, you have training, you have been, I don't know, 25 years doing this. It's not like this is beyond the realm of imagination that this would happen, right? Well, he got the believable answer out. What should I do? No, I'm not gonna back off. I'm gonna press harder. If I back off, then I will concede the point and then the judge will be handing the verdict. No, press harder. Come on, Fisher, you were trained for this sort of thing. Exactly my point. Chambers is an old man who has never used a gun. There's no way you couldn't stop him, especially when you had a gun yourself. Idiot.
Objection!
Your badge of my witness. Stop. Okay, the idiot was too much, but everything else, it was in point.
Objection!
I refuse to believe he just stood there. What if I didn't have time to do anything, punk? Chambers shot the gun as soon as he was in the cell. So, he missed. And then there was a struggle. And then you claim, and then he shot him in the forehead. Of course you had time to do something. That first shot missed, and afterwards there was a struggle. Yes, exactly, thank you, Apollo. I was nervous. That's not an excuse. And it doesn't fly. It does not fly, I don't believe you. You were trained to be a prison guard and Chambers is an old man. You were not intimidated by this kind of thing. I don't believe that for a second. Anyone could have stopped the struggle with two exclamation marks. Well, could anyone do anything while unconscious? Of course not. But this unconsciousness happened after the struggle, according to your testimony. So are you saying you lied? You were actually not conscious when the gunshots happened, right? A few good man strategy worked. He got worked up and slipped. Oops. Order. You were unconscious when the struggle happened. Okay. What is the English word for giving false testimony? Yes, perjury. You will be accused for perjury. Congratulations. Yeah. Tell us what happened now. I walked into the cell first, and as soon as I did, Chambers hit me over the head with the gun. I heard the first gunshot and as I passed out. So anything in your testimony was just a big lie, you piece of perjuring shithead. Yeah, do you recognize that this is about human life, that this is a murder and this guy could get the death penalty if you testify against him and tell an incorrect testimony? What the fuck is your problem, man? Well, starting with a struggle, yeah. But I figured that was the only thing that could have happened. Okay, I get it. But it's I cannot forgive this kind of shabby testimony. That's why I said what I did. I get it, but it's wrong. Even if that part of his testimony is discarded, the defendant still attacked the witness and fired the gun.
Objection!
That bullet missed. There's no way you can prove Chambers fired the second shot. I agree with the defense. It's almost certain that the defendant is guilty. However, we do not have an eyewitness to the moment of the crime and therefore there is still a shred of doubt. I will extend this trial for days.
Objection!
There is no need for that, Your Honor. Oh, if you want me to eliminate that shred of doubt, all I need is another short recess to prep a witness. Third witness, eh? Are you positive that... Oh, sorry, the fourth witness. Are you positive that this witness will be able to eliminate all doubt? Of course. Very well. Court is adjourned for 10-minute recess. Fisher was there at the moment of the crime, so I figured his testimony might be useful. I got a copy of it for my reference. Okay, let's see. I was attacked as soon as I walked into the cell and I heard a gunshot right before passing out. Got it. Oh, that was fast 10 minutes. Court is now back in session. That was a short nap. Mrs. Poole, is your witness ready? Naturellement. Then let's bring him out here. Him! We already have your name and occupation on the record, so let's not repeat that travesty. Thank you, but I was expecting a fourth witness. Okay, let's go with witness again. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Now then, please give your testimony about why only Mr. Chambers could be the murderer. Okay. When I left the victim's cell, only Ullebayer, Chambers and Fisher were there, ma'am. Between Chambers and Fisher, the culprit must be the former. Not only do the fingerprints on the murder weapon and the blood on the rope point to him, but I also have evidence proving Fisher isn't the killer. First, if the missed shot means the murderer is experienced with shooting. But more importantly, why would Fisher use Chambers' gun instead of his own? That's why there's no doubt Chambers was the true perpetrator of this crime, ma'am. This is more of deduction than the witness account. Agree, this holds speculation, so I dismiss this testimony. Can you dismiss it, Mr. Judge? Well, I have to dismiss contradictory nature of it by myself then, I see. No matter, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright. This shouldn't be too hard because it's Meekins, but let's see. Okay, this is true unless there's a secret fourth person. We don't know the time of death since we don't have Earl Mayer's body. Therefore, we do not know how long after you left the cell the crime took place.
Objection!
We know from Mr. Fisher's testimony that the gun was the first shot soon after the witness left. I believe we can infer that the second gunshot and murder took place immediately after the first. Thus, we know the murder took place shortly after the witness left. Mr. Meekins, please tell Mr. Justice what that means. Have to be him. But Fisher lied in his testimony. That's pretty incriminating, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, if we are going with opinions here, man, then my opinion is just as good as yours in this case. Well, he tried to streamline the trial, not to save his skin. Besides, evidence still points the defendant. Please continue the testimony. But the fingerprints got on the murder weapon while he was holding the gun before the murder occurred.
Objection!
Yes, his fingerprints definitely got on the murder weapon before the murder occurred. But that doesn't mean he didn't fire the gun, which is true.
Objection!
Exactly. The fingerprints don't prove he fired the gun, so he might not fire the gun, which is also true. You cannot deduce anything from that. You're repeating yourself. You just can't confront the new information in this testimony. Please continue. What new information? You're the one repeating yourself. Alright.
Hold it!
Then you say I. You mean Mrs. Poole, right? Because she prepped you for 10 minutes and put all this bullshit in your mouth. If I would have to say that I have the evidence or that she has the evidence, I would have to say the latter, sir. Well, we might as well have her take the stand, don't you think? This is the witness's own deduction. No, it's not your deduction. That's bullshit. Even if I did guide him through it a little, just carry on with the testimony. Okay, so this is the so-called evidence. The missed shot means the murderer is inexperienced with shooting, which... No, this is not true. There are other difficulties that could arise. But I mean, the Fisher could also be inexperienced with shooting, right? If he hasn't used his gun for a long time.
Hold it!
Yes, exactly, this is what I meant. Thank you, Apollo. How do you know Fisher is so much more experienced than Chambers? Well, he used to be a cop, so he had experience with guns before. Also, prison guard received training with the issued firearms, sir. And the defendant confessed that he had never handled a gun before the murder. Well, how do you know that the first shot was an accident? Maybe Fisher missed it on purpose so it would look like it was him. No, or as a warning shot. Oh please, are you trying to turn a high school dropout who can't even give a coherent testimony into a criminal mastermind? He doesn't even have a motive or opportunity. Witness, continue the testimony. To frame him. If you have a chance to frame someone, you use the gun of the frameable person, right?
Hold it!
Okay, we are the one, Apollo. Okay, you are in my mind and I am in your mind. We are in perfect sync. This is like at least a third, fourth, or maybe a fifth time this has happened already. It's simple. To frame Chambers.
Objection!
What? Let's not go through this again. If Fisher used Chambers' gun, then Chambers had to be unconscious. But we found no chemical substance in him. Besides, it would have been taken too long to get Chambers' gun. Erlenmeyer would have more than enough time to attack Fisher. Yes, it seems highly illogical for Fisher to have used defendant's gun. I disagree, but it's still slightly far-fetched, but hardly illogical. Objection sustained. Please continue, Mr. Meekins. And this is also opinion piece. What do you mean there is no doubt? There is doubt. Mrs. Poole, you said this testimony would remove all doubt, but it's nothing more than a conjecture. Exactly. It's not conjecture, it's logic. No. It's not good enough. Logic is something like a method. If you have evidence, then you can use logic to pinpoint the culprit. It's not a fucking answer that that okay, I do this, you are the criminal. I used logic. Not explain your logic. Yes, exactly. This is not evidence. Weren't you one who kept on telling us how important it is? I'll admit that it isn't the decisive eyewitness account. But every single piece of evidence points towards the defendant. That's not enough. Yes, thank you, Mike Meekis. Now, this is probably something you didn't need to say, but you will say anyway, and it will be full of flaws, and I will exploit them. Thank you for your big mouth. Actually, I have another reason, and if I were to say it is decisive or not decisive, I would have to say the former. What? Why didn't you tell me about it? You said these two reasons would be enough. Tell us the reason already. Prepare to get fucked. Of course, I'm probably going to regret saying that. No, this is good. Because this part of the testimony was not prepared by Mrs. Poole. So this is completely bullshit, probably. So let's see. Are you sure you won't like it? Out with it, man. Add it to your testimony at once. Alright. Number 8. Half an hour later I saw Fisher and he wasn't suspicious at all. What the fuck is that supposed to be? He wasn't suspicious at all. What was he like then? Give me details.
Hold it!
What do you mean? Thank you. Yes, Apollo. We are the same person. Well, he wasn't carrying a body with him, and he didn't have any blood on his clothes. He looked perfectly normal. Mrs. Poole didn't react anyway, which means I'm on the right track.
If Meekins did see Fisher, then there's no way he was the criminal. It would really prove Chambers is guilty.
But then why does Poole look so shaken up about this? This testimony is just stuff that's been brought up before.
And we still don't have a way to counter it.
This is all older circumstantial, so it won't advance Poole's case.
But if his results are beautiful, maybe we can use it to further ours.
Exactly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this must be it. Let's see, what is Fisher's testimony? It might be this, or... I'm pretty sure it's Fisher's testimony because I think he was still unconscious at this point, right? Let's see.
Objection!
Yes, we made it, Apollo. The testimony doesn't end here. I mean, the proceedings don't end here. We can inch to the second day. You claim to have seen Fisher for half an hour later. Not unconscious, is that right? But that is impossible! You see, Mr. Fisher gave us testimony saying that he was knocked unconscious. At the time you claim to have met Mr. Fisher, he was asleep. You're right. What is the meaning of this?
Objection!
You're overlooking an important fact. Fisher's testimony contradicts Meekins' testimony. It's one man's work against another, not testimony against evidence. in that case, which one is telling the truth? Wait a second. I don't see why Meekins would lie, to be honest. Because he was not prepped for this last part of this testimony, right? So, Meekins is telling the truth, and if I say Fisher is lying, then I cannot use the testimony. So, both are correct. So, Fisher was beaten up, unconscious, and when Meekins saw him, it was... he was... he was still fine. But he had no visible injuries. This is what he probably means. Both of them are telling the truth. Oh.
Hold it!
Oh, I was actually scared for a moment that I... I was actually right here. No, it's true. Meekins has no reason to lie, and Fisher was found unconscious with that proves.
Objection!
But they can't both be right. Their testimonies contradict each other. No, they don't. He had no visible injuries. Actually, there's a way that they don't. Explain yourself, Mr. Justice. Okay, let me save. 5. Meekins did not hallucinate, and what the? He saw someone else? Two Fishers makes no sense to me. Oh, I get it. He saw the judge. Judge unconscious. Wait. No, maybe? I'm sure. He saw someone else, but that would clear up the contradiction nicely. No. You think you saw Fisher, but it was not Fisher, because Fisher and the judge were the same uniform, right? And you saw only behind the back, right? That's why you thought it was Fisher. How can you be so sure? Well, I saw him up close, not at a distance. Plus, I know what Fisher looks like since I see him every day. That's shit. Did you see his face? That's the important one. In other words, there is no chance that you mistook the person you saw for Fisher. Yes, ma'am! I guess that means there's no chance your theory is right, Lady Justice. And there's no chance you're escaping with this penalty. Haha, thanks. Okay, give me another chance to explain this contradiction. Fine. Hallucination is stupid. There are two fishes, but that's also stupid answer because I don't get it. This better not be like this other Fisher. He's not actually a Fisher, but he is the judge or something like that. There had to be two Fishers that night. That's impossible. There's only one shown official.
Objection!
It is the only way to both testimonies to be true. You have a twin, right? Fine. If you're so confident in this little theory of yours, let's see you prove it. Tell us who the other Fisher was. Give us evidence he was there that night. Let's save. First, let's see the evidence which proves there were two fissures. I don't know. The wig or the uniform? I think it's a fucking uniform. Let's see. Alright, so who was the person? Chief Justice? No. Judge Chambers? Oh no, it's a victim himself. He was killed outside. Okay. Shit.